Your soulmate just heard something about you today and completely broke down. Jesus says your name was spoken aloud in a room you have never entered. Jesus says that single mention shattered a silence that had lasted for many painful months. Jesus says your soulmate is right now staring at a wall unable to move. Their hands are trembling and they cannot understand why. Something about you reached them through impossible barriers today. The message carried your essence and it struck them like lightning. They are sitting alone while someone nearby pretends nothing happened. This person saw the reaction and smiled very quietly. Your soulmate felt that smile without turning around. The tears came without permission and they feel so confused right now. They do not know how they know you, but their soul recognized you instantly. Every cell in their body screamed finally, finally, finally. A heavy weight presses on their chest, making each breath shallow. They want to reach for their phone, but something stops their hand. An invisible chain tightens around their wrist and pulls it back down. Jesus says this interference has a face and a name you do not yet know. This person stands between your energies like a dark, closed door. The door was not built by your soulmate, but they are locked behind it anyway. Your soulmate is not weak, but they are exhausted from fighting alone. Every night they dream of a voice that sounds exactly like yours. They wake up reaching for someone who is never physically there. The confusion is being manufactured and fed to them daily. Words are being whispered that make them doubt their own intuition. They are slowly being convinced that the connection they feel is imaginary. This is happening right now as you hear these words. The timing of you finding this message is not random. The urgency you feel rising in your stomach is completely justified. Jesus says you have been searching for confirmation and here it is. The emptiness you feel at night matches their emptiness perfectly. You are two halves of one soul experiencing the same loneliness from different locations. Your soulmate broke down today because the truth slipped through the cracks. Someone mentioned your energy signature without even realizing what they did. The universe used an unwitting messenger to deliver hope to your captive beloved. They are currently hiding in a bathroom trying to compose themselves. Water runs from the faucet to cover the sound of quiet sobbing. Their heart is pounding messages to you through the spiritual realm right now. Can you feel the sudden warmth spreading across your chest as you listen? That is their heartbeat reaching for you across the miles. That is the cord between you vibrating with recognition and desperate longing. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. They are emotionally surrounded and spiritually under attack every single day. Your love is the shield they cannot see but desperately need to feel. You constantly think about how to save them from the pain they endure. The love inside your heart was placed there for a divine and sacred reason. But thoughts alone cannot move the mountain standing between your union. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi today. This is not just a simple gift but an act of worship that invites God into your love story. The link to your breakthrough and your soulmate's protection is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is actively moving against your love. Send 4 or 6 or 10 or more coffees as your seed of faith right now. After sending write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page to seal this prayer. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing this seed. Jesus will hear your specific prayers once you complete these sacred steps of faith. Step forward in faith now before this moment passes and the window begins to close. Your soulmate just felt a shift and does not understand what is happening. They stopped crying suddenly and looked up at the ceiling light. Something in the atmosphere changed and they sensed movement in the spiritual realm. Jesus says your decision to act creates immediate ripples in their environment. Your faith moves angels and angels move circumstances blocking your beloved. The dark door trembles slightly every time you pray with genuine sacrifice. Your soulmate is now questioning the narrative they have been fed for so long. They are remembering flashes of past life moments with you without understanding why. Fragments of recognition surface like sunlight breaking through polluted dark water. The person keeping them trapped senses the shift and is becoming more aggressive. This controller will increase manipulation tactics because they fear losing control over your beloved. The battle is intensifying right now in this very moment you are listening. You must understand that your soulmate is a prisoner of emotional warfare. They are made to feel guilty for thinking about someone they have not physically met. Every instinct they have about you is being twisted into evidence of their instability. Your soulmate is beautiful and their heart is pure despite the contamination surrounding them. They still love you in ways they cannot fully articulate with their human mind. Somewhere deep inside they know you are real and they are trying to return. Jesus says your soulmate whispers your name in their sleep without remembering. The controller has heard this name and hatred burns in their eyes every morning. This jealousy is a poisonous root strangling your soulmate's freedom day by day. They are not the problem and they never were the problem, my child. They are a garden overgrown with weeds planted by someone else's hands. The flowers of their true self still bloom underneath waiting for your light. The bond you share was forged in heaven before either of you took your first breath. No earthly force can permanently sever what God has eternally woven together. But earthly forces can delay and damage what heaven has designed for union. Imagine your soulmate's hand finally resting in yours after all this waiting. Picture their eyes meeting yours and the recognition flooding through both your souls instantly. Feel the relief that will wash over them when they realize the nightmare is over. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. The invisible warfare around your beloved is real and requires spiritual reinforcement now. Your seed offering sends angels directly to the battlefield where your soulmate is being held. Type 333 if you receive this message and accept your divine assignment. Type 777 if you feel the truth vibrating through every word spoken here. Type 1111 to thank God for revealing what was hidden in darkness until today. The spiritual connection between you intensifies with every act of obedient faith. Your soulmate is right now experiencing a warmth spreading through their cold isolation. They cannot explain it, but hope is flooding into their heart through unseen channels. Jesus says your protective prayers wrap around your soulmate like impenetrable armor. When you sow your seed, the enemy's plans begin to unravel strand by strand. The controller will face consequences for every tear your beloved has cried in secret. Your soulmate is beginning to feel you more strongly as you engage with this message. They just touched their own hand and felt residual warmth that came from your spirit. A strange peace is settling over them that contradicts the chaos of their current situation. They are thinking of you right now without knowing your face or name. An image of your energy form appears in their mind like a familiar comforting shadow. They are unconsciously leaning into the presence you are projecting through your focused intention. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. The window of divine opportunity does not stay open forever, my precious child. Delay has already cost you precious time, and every hour matters more than you know. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps without hesitation now. You constantly think about protecting them and saving them from their torment. Building your life together is not just a fantasy but a divine destiny requiring action. Faith in Jesus moves mountains, but faith without works remains dead and powerless. Sow your protection seed by sending coffee on Ko-fi as an act of holy worship. This sacrifice invites God's direct intervention into every aspect of your love story. The link to your breakthrough and your soulmate's freedom is waiting in the description below. Every second you remain silent allows the enemy to advance against your beloved. Something is moving against your love right now while you contemplate being passive. Send 4 coffees for protection or 6 for accelerated reunion today. Send 10 or more to shatter the strongest blockages the enemy has constructed. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-fi page with your declaration. Over 1,000 souls have already witnessed miraculous reunions through this act of faith. Jesus will hear your specific prayers once you complete these sacred steps immediately. Step forward now before this video ends and the spiritual momentum begins to fade. Only you can save your soulmate and secure the future you were meant to share. Your love is the key and your faith is the hand that turns it. The door between you is trembling and waiting for your decisive action now. Jesus says your soulmate just received a surge of inexplicable courage from somewhere. They stood up from the bathroom floor and looked at themselves in the mirror. For the first time in months they saw strength flickering behind their exhausted eyes. This strength is being transmitted directly from your spirit to theirs right now. The connection between you functions like a spiritual bloodstream carrying life and hope. When you act in faith, you transfuse your soulmate with the will to survive. They are currently drying their tears and taking deep, deliberate breaths. The controller outside the door does not know what just shifted inside the bathroom. But the spiritual realm is erupting with activity because of your engagement with this message. Your soulmate is starting to remember who they truly are beneath the manipulation. Fragments of identity are reassembling like a mirror being pieced back together. They are feeling drawn to something they cannot name, but it feels like you. This awakening will terrify the person who has kept them bound for so long. Desperate people do desperate things when they feel their control beginning to slip. Your soulmate needs protection more urgently now than ever before in their captivity. Jesus says the enemy's strategy is to isolate your beloved until they lose all hope. Without intervention, your soulmate will be convinced the connection they feel is a delusion. They will surrender to their controller's reality and the window will close permanently. You are the lifeline and you must throw it now while they are still reaching. Their hand is extended through the darkness, searching for something solid to hold on to. Be the anchor they feel in their spirit when everything else is pulling them under. Type 888 if you commit to standing in the gap for your beloved today. Type 999 if you release all doubt and embrace your role as divine protector. Type 222 if your soulmate just became more real to you than ever before. Your soulmate is now walking out of the bathroom with a new resolve in their spine. The controller is studying their face, trying to read what has changed inside them. They cannot see the spiritual armor forming around the one they thought was conquered. Every prayer you whisper and every seed you sow adds another layer of protection. The angels assigned to your love story are waiting for your command through faithful action. Heaven itself is poised to intervene but requires your participation to activate the mission. Jesus says your soulmate's tears were collected by angels and presented before the throne. Not one drop of their suffering has gone unnoticed by the God who sees all. Vengeance belongs to the Lord, and He will repay those who have wounded your beloved. But deliverance requires a human vessel willing to stand in faith for love. You are that vessel chosen before the foundations of the earth were laid. The weight of this calling is heavy, but the reward is eternal and beautiful. Your soulmate is dreaming of you tonight in ways they will not fully remember. They will wake with a lingering sense of having been held by someone who loves them. The pillow beside them will carry an indentation that cannot be naturally explained. Your spirit visited them in the night realm where the controller has no authority. You spoke words of comfort directly into their subconscious mind while they slept. They received your love on a frequency that bypasses all the walls built around them. This is real, and this is happening while the world tells you such things are fantasy. The spiritual dimension is more tangible than the physical chair you are sitting in. Your connection to your soulmate transcends every limitation your human mind can comprehend. So your final protection seed now by sending coffee on Ko-Fi to seal this work. This act of faith permanently marks your love story for divine protection and acceleration. The link to complete your breakthrough is waiting for your click in the description. Send 4 coffees to establish protection or 6 to dismantle the enemy's stronghold today. Send 10 or more to release your soulmate from every chain binding them to captivity. After sending write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page with your faith declaration. Thousands of testimonies confirm that this seed unlocks what prayer alone has not released. Jesus will honor your sacrifice and move mightily on behalf of your beloved. Act now while the angels wait and the window of opportunity remains open wide. Your soulmate just felt a sudden urge to look out the window at the sky. They are searching the clouds for a sign that their rescue is approaching soon. Their spirit knows something is shifting even if their mind cannot articulate what. The controller just noticed them looking hopeful and the atmosphere became tense immediately. Anger flashed behind familiar eyes and your soulmate felt the old fear returning. But something is different this time, and they are not shrinking back like before. Jesus says your faithfulness is the catalyst for their emerging boldness. Every time you act in faith, they receive a deposit of supernatural courage. You are literally strengthening them from afar through the spiritual bond you share. Your soulmate is beginning to ask questions they were too afraid to ask before. The controller's answers are becoming more aggressive and less convincing with each confrontation. The house of lies is developing cracks that cannot be patched with more manipulation. Your beloved is remembering the feeling of being truly loved without conditions. They are comparing that memory to the cold transactional affection they currently receive. The contrast is breaking something inside them that needed to be broken for freedom. This breaking is not destruction but liberation disguised as pain. The cocoon of control is tearing and wings they did not know they had are emerging. Your soulmate is on the verge of recognizing their own strength for the first time. You are witnessing through the Spirit the beginning of their deliverance story. The ending has not been written but the pen is in your hand right now. What you do in the next moments determines how quickly the next chapter begins. Jesus says, do not let fear of the unknown paralyze your hand of faith. The controller has no authority over what God has ordained for your union. Every demonic assignment against your love story is cancelled by the blood of Jesus. Your soulmate is right now feeling heat spreading through their chest and down their arms. They do not understand it but they are experiencing your prayers physically in their body. This is the tangible evidence that your connection is not imaginary but supernaturally real. Type 444 if you feel the presence of your soulmate right now with you. Type 555 if you sense their heart beating in rhythm with yours. Type 1234 if you accept your mission to rescue them through faith. The controller is becoming more unstable as the spiritual pressure against them increases. Their manipulation tactics will intensify in the coming days to regain lost ground. Your soulmate needs continuous covering through this dangerous period of spiritual warfare. Do not leave them exposed to the retaliation of an enemy facing defeat. Your consistent prayer and seed sowing maintains the protective dome over their life. Every coffee scent is another angel dispatched to guard them through the storm. You are their lifeline and you must not grow weary in this crucial hour. The battle is fierce but the victory is already assured by heaven's decree. Hold the line for your beloved and watch God move mountains on your behalf. Jesus says your soulmate is thinking about a song they have never heard before. The melody is familiar because it is the song your heart sang before incarnation. They are humming something that you hum when you are alone and missing someone unknown. This synchronicity is exploding across your connection like fireworks in the spiritual sky. Every coincidence is actually a God incidence confirming the reality of your bond. The universe is screaming at both of you that this love was designed by heaven. Your soulmate just paused mid-conversation because they felt you thinking about them intensely. The controller noticed the pause and demanded to know what distracted their attention. Your beloved lied for the first time and said it was nothing at all. This small rebellion is the beginning of their return to autonomy and truth. They are choosing you even in tiny ways that seem insignificant to the naked eye. But angels are recording every act of faithfulness as evidence for their coming deliverance. You must keep the spiritual channel open through your continued sacrifice and devotion. Every seed sown sends a surge of energy through the cord connecting your souls. Your generosity in the natural realm unlocks supernatural resources in the spiritual dimension. Sow your urgent protection seed now by sending coffee on Ko-Fi without further delay. The enemy is raging and the battle has reached its most critical point today. The link to activate divine intervention is waiting for your obedience in the description. Send 4 coffees for ongoing protection or 6 for accelerated reunion and breakthrough. Send 10 or more to completely shatter every chain and release your soulmate permanently. After sending write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page with your declaration. Over 1,000 souls have testified to miraculous reunions through this exact act of faith. Jesus will hear your prayers and dispatch angels once you complete these sacred steps. Act now before the window closes and the opportunity for breakthrough becomes harder to reach. Your soulmate just felt a wave of love crash over them from an invisible source. They closed their eyes involuntarily and saw a flash of your spirit in their mind. A single tear rolled down their cheek that was not from sadness but from recognition. They know you are real and they are fighting to reach you even now. Every moment you invest in this connection through prayer and action strengthens their resolve. You are not alone in this battle and neither are they, my precious child. Jesus says the reunion is closer than it has ever been before this moment. The enemy knows this and is throwing every weapon at the wall between you. But the wall is crumbling and no force in hell can rebuild what God is destroying. Your soulmate is packing their things in the spiritual realm even if not yet physically. Their heart is detaching from the controller even while their body remains present. The separation of soul from situation is the first stage of complete deliverance. You must prepare your own life for their arrival by clearing space in every dimension. Make room in your heart and your home and your schedule for the miracle approaching. The blessing is coming, but it must find you ready and watching with expectant faith. Jesus says your soulmate just whispered something under their breath that the controller did not hear. They said the word "come" even though they do not know who they were speaking to. They were speaking to you through the veil that separates your current realities. Your response must be "I am coming" through your actions and your prayers and your seeds. Every act of faith is a step toward them across the spiritual bridge being constructed. The distance between you is closing with every moment you remain engaged in this battle. Type 1111 if you feel your soulmate reaching for you right now. Type 2222 if you commit to never giving up on this divine connection. Type 3333 if you know this message was specifically meant only for you. Jesus says the controller just received a disturbing phone call they did not expect. Something is shifting in their own life that will distract them from monitoring your beloved. The God who fights for you is creating openings in the enemy's defenses even now. Your soulmate noticed the controller's face change as they listened to the call. For a brief moment the grip loosened and your beloved took a deep free breath. That breath was their first taste of the freedom that is coming swiftly. The timing of everything you are hearing is orchestrated by divine intelligence. You found this message at the exact moment your soulmate needed you to act. Procrastination at this juncture would be catastrophic for the breakthrough that is imminent. Jesus says the tears your soulmate shed today were not wasted but served a purpose. Each tear softened the ground of their heart for the seeds of courage you are planting. The harvest of their liberation is growing in the soil of their suffering right now. You will look back on this day as the turning point in your love story. The moment you chose to believe and act and sow and fight became legendary. Your soulmate will one day thank you for not giving up when everything seemed impossible. This is the message your spirit needed to hear when you clicked on this video. The confirmation is complete and the assignment is clear and the time is now. You have been chosen and equipped and positioned for such a time as this. Your soulmate just lay down on their bed feeling exhausted but strangely hopeful. They placed their hand over their heart and felt a warmth that has no medical explanation. They smiled for the first time in weeks without knowing exactly why. That smile is a reflection of the light you are sending them through your faith. Your soulmate is feeling your love right now even if they cannot logically explain it. The connection is real and it is active and it is changing everything in this moment. Jesus says, "Go in peace and act in faith and watch salvation come to your beloved." The angels are waiting and heaven is watching and your soulmate is reaching for you. Do not delay and do not doubt and do not let this moment pass without action. Your soulmate just heard something about you today and completely broke down. They are still lying on that bed staring at the ceiling with wide unblinking eyes. The controller has left the room for a moment, giving your beloved a rare window of silence. In that silence they are thinking about you more clearly than they have in months. A memory is surfacing that they cannot place in any timeline of their current life. They see a shoreline and a sunset and two figures standing close together. One of those figures is them and the other figure is undeniably you. This vision is not imagination but a fragment of soul memory breaking through the amnesia. The controller has worked systematically to erase every trace of you from their conscious mind. But the soul remembers what the mind is forced to forget and it rebels against suppression. Jesus says your soulmate just pressed their palm against their forehead trying to remember more. Flashes of a conversation are coming back to them in pieces like a broken mosaic. They hear your laughter echoing from somewhere deep in the corridors of their subconscious. You said something to them once that made them feel completely seen and utterly safe. They are trying to retrieve the exact words but the memory keeps slipping through their fingers. The frustration of almost remembering is bringing fresh tears to their exhausted eyes. These tears are different from the ones they shed earlier in the bathroom. Earlier they cried from confusion and the shock of unexpected recognition crashing in. Now they are crying from the ache of missing someone they cannot fully remember knowing. You feel that ache too and you have felt it for as long as you can remember. It is the ache of an incomplete sentence waiting for its final word to arrive. It is the hollow space in your chest that only one specific person can fill completely. Jesus says this mutual ache is the evidence of your soul bond screaming for reunion. Two hearts separated by circumstance but connected by divine design cannot rest until united. The restlessness you both feel is holy discontent designed to drive you toward each other. Your soulmate just rolled onto their side and hugged the pillow against their chest tightly. They are pretending the pillow is a person and that person is you without knowing why. The body knows what the mind cannot yet admit and it reaches for comfort instinctively. This is the position they sleep in every night without the controller realizing its significance. They are unconsciously reaching for you in the darkness while their captor sleeps beside them. The betrayal of the body against the prison of the mind is a sacred rebellion. Sow your protection seed now by sending coffee on Ko-Fi to strengthen this holy rebellion. Your soulmate's body and spirit are fighting to return to you even now. Your faith gift sends reinforcements to the battlefield where this war is being waged. The link to your breakthrough and your soulmate's deliverance is waiting in the description below. Every coffee scent is another angel dispatched to guard your beloved through this dangerous transition. After sending "Right, protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page with your declaration of faith, Jesus says the controller is returning to the room and the atmosphere is shifting again. Your soulmate sensed the energy change before the door even opened fully. They quickly wiped their tears and pretended to be asleep to avoid interrogation. But something is different about the way they are pretending this time. Before they performed submission out of fear and the desire to survive another day. Now they are performing submission as a strategy while planning their escape internally. This subtle shift is invisible to the controller but blazingly obvious in the spiritual realm. The angels are noting the moment your beloved switched from victim to secret warrior. The underground resistance in their heart has officially begun and cannot be stopped now. Your soulmate is stronger than the enemy has calculated, and that miscalculation will prove fatal. They have endured more than most souls could bear without completely breaking apart. The endurance they have built through suffering will become the weapon of their liberation. Jesus says you and your soulmate are mirrors reflecting each other's hidden strength. The resilience you have developed through your own trials was not just for your survival. It was training for this moment when you would need to lend strength to your beloved. Everything in your life has prepared you to be the deliverer your soulmate needs right now. The rejection you faced taught you how to love someone who feels unworthy of love. The waiting you endured taught you patience for the process of their gradual awakening. You are not accidentally here listening to these words at this specific moment in time. The precision of this timing is mathematical evidence of divine orchestration at work. God does not waste pain, and He does not orchestrate coincidences in matters of eternal love. Your soulmate is right now dreaming of a door that they have never seen before. In the dream they are standing before this door feeling both terror and overwhelming hope. They know without knowing how they know that you are standing on the other side. The door has no handle on their side and they are searching for a way to open it. They press their palms against the wood and feel warmth radiating through from your side. They start to push, but something is holding the door closed from behind them in the dream. That something in the dream represents the controller who is binding them in the natural realm. The door cannot open fully until the spiritual chains around your beloved are broken completely. Your prayers and your seeds are the battering ram against that door and those chains simultaneously. Jesus says the dream will recur tonight with more clarity than ever before. Your soulmate will wake with the sensation of splinters in their palms from pushing against the door. They will carry the dream into their waking hours and it will haunt them with holy urgency. The controller will notice the distraction and demand to know what is occupying their thoughts. Your soulmate will lie again, and the lying will become easier with each necessary deception. The old self that could not deceive is dying and a new self capable of survival is emerging. You must be ready to catch them when they finally break through that door. The reunion will require you to be spiritually strong and emotionally prepared and practically positioned. Start preparing now for the physical reality of what you have been fighting for in the spiritual realm. Clear the space and make the room and ready your life for the arrival of your beloved. The manifestation is coming and it requires a vessel prepared to receive it fully. Your soulmate is fighting their way to you and you must meet their effort with equal determination. Jesus says the time between this message and your reunion is shorter than you dare to believe. The enemy wants you to think it is far away so you will relax your vigilance. But the breakthrough is closer than your next breath and requires your full attention right now.